Hey everybody, Brad here with Arizona Grows. Welcome to my garden. As you can see, things in the garden are going amazing. Look at this Cosmopolis. Again guys, we're about half an hour before lights off. Get some praying over here going on. Look at this, it's still looking good. Now these are probably looking great because I did a huge defoliation, and you'll be able to tell more over here, but this tent is so full I probably could have cut more entire branches off of plants. Totally overgrown, didn't need to let the garden get this big, should have flipped sooner. So FYI, if you're growing these plants, flip sooner. Don't let them get as big as I did. They definitely doubled or more in size. I've been lifting this fan in the back quite a bit. This plant's grown right into it, even though I thought stretch was over. Clearly it was not over. I think it's over now because now we're starting to get some of the big, actual buds on top and not just some hairs or the start of the forming of buds, and then the stems are getting harder. I've been going around doing the Cushman chiropractic on some of these big ladies, trying to make some little knuckles so it's easier for them to move nutrients. Man, they just look so good. This grape lemon cherry in the back. Oof. It's starting to get some smells. We got some smells, on the Cosmopolis coming through, probably the most. This one feels like it's the furthest along. Right now, the stem almost kind of mini. Interesting. I don't know. Everything in here just looks so good. We'll get in and take a camera spin around. I can't say enough good things. This light is killing it. We're at 75%. This is the brand new 2024 FCE 6500. This light has just been amazing. At 75%, it's about 550 watts, which means we're about 150 watts over the light we had in here during our last grow. And I really think by looking at these leaves and the praying that they're doing and this spacing, which isn't bad, but it's a little further apart than it needed to be, I probably could have either set the light a little bit higher, 80-85%. I don't like to rip them at 100 a lot, just because I feel like that ruins the longevity of the light. And that could be totally fictitious. That's probably just something I made up in my head. But I feel like, any of your electronics, if you run them at 100% all the time, as hard as they can go, definitely feels like they die sooner. So my goal is to have this light hopefully 3, 4, 5 years, or if I somehow get a new light in 2 or 3 years from now, then I want to be able to give this light to somebody and know they're going to get another year, 2, 3, 4 years out of it, before it goes kaput. Or longer. You know what I mean? Or longer. Some of these lights, they tell you got to say on the warranty, 3 or 4 or 5 years, the hours for the chips, but some of them are going to go longer than that, especially if you treat them right and they're not cranked to 100% all the time, and they're not in super warm conditions or super cold, So just like any of your electronics, if you treat them right, they definitely help. I mean, I probably could have cranked this up a little bit more because they're still praying and we're almost at lights out. The only ones that really aren't praying are these leaves that are right up at the top, but this guy's praying. So I don't know. I feel like everything in here is doing so well. We're starting to get the buds on things. I did do a feeding. I'll talk about that when I pick up the camera. But it was super simple. Biofish from Down to Earth, my worm castings, a little bit of mustard seed meal, and Power Bloom from Gaia Green. That was it. And then in the watering can, coconut powder from Build a Soil, so it's like sugar. Some of the enzymes, Biofoss from Rootwise, and then also, what else did we put in there? That was it. Coconut, the Biofoss, and trying to think. Oh, and the enzymes, the Rootwise enzymes. Oh no, and a little bit of that banana ferment we had. So just to help everything kick off. The plants seem to have loved it. You can tell they're super, super happy right now. And this is the Autopots full on the bottom. I didn't turn them off or anything, and I gave them all a top water. And they're just totally cruising along. I do have, there's one plant in here where it has some weird stuff on the tips where the pistils have curled in. And my first thought was, that's pollen somehow from like I hermed somewhere. But there's only 2 that have it, and I can't find any nanners anywhere. I looked all around, you know, and I feel like if it was coming from something further away, then there'd be more things pollinated like across. So I think maybe when I was leaning to do some work the other day, maybe I just brushed against them and damaged the tips on those. Not 100% sure. But I definitely haven't found any nanners yet, so I'll be looking around just to make sure. And if I did, it would be something that I did with my environmental controls. I've never had any just come from my genetics from exotic, and I doubt a clone from Tiki would spot nanners. And if it did, it'd be something I did, environmental controls that it didn't like. So we'll check it out, but we'll take a quick spin around. I'll show you those plants where the pistils are a little different color already. And we'll just kind of go from there. But man, this garden looks so good, guys. Amazing. And we're getting close to the light, you know. Up here, these girls are what, 6'12", you know, less than a foot away. So hopefully we don't have to try and lift the light and get back there and kind of ratchet it, you know. But if we did, we got another 6 inches or so, we could really go up. But I think these have grown right to where they're happy with the light, and they're big enough now that the stretch should be over. So if it stays right where it is, I think we're going to be just fine. If not, some of these ones in the middle, you know, we might have to super crop them. Not ideal, but, you know, we'll do what we do. So that's it for now. Let's take a quick look around. All right, we're back. This is the Mars Hydro 5x5 tent. It's got the brand new FCE 6500 light. This is the 2024 edition. On this one, you don't have to plug in the bars anymore. They're all pre-wired. So all you have to do with this light is hang it up and plug it in, and it just works perfect. And I'm so happy with it. Learning a lot on this first run with it. I think the one thing that I would do is next time, if I don't have the trellis in, what I would do is get in here, and I would maybe, when flowers started, I would lower the light a little bit so we're only like 12 inches off the plants. And as they got taller, I would raise the light up. Especially in stretch. I think that would have eliminated some of the stretch. Like on this guy. Like, this is a big section right here, you know? That was too much. And that's my fault. But you can see the side branches have like perfect nuggies. Everything's looking really good. I feel like it's either the wind. It might be the wind because it's, you know, that's getting the nugs to have the color, because it's right in the path of this other fan that I have. And right down that path is where I see the color change on the pistils. So maybe I lowered, you know, and I'm not going to worry about it. God, I don't even know what I was doing with the camera right there. Hey, just look around. Brad's talking to the fucking garden, and he's pointing the camera. Nothing. Awesome. That's some high quality content right there. That's what we're talking about. But seriously, so I think what happened was this fan was on like a 6 or a 7 for speed. And last night I turned it down to a 3. You know, we don't need a super speed in here right now. We're not trying to do anything crazy. The garden's in full effect. I mean, it just looks amazing. And then I also had added this other fan in the back just because I had it lying around from when we did when we returned our old ones, the S1s or whatever. But this is they both, I think they come set on 6 or 7. So I turned them both down to 3, and I think that's going to help with the wind. And that would make sense, because if you look at the ones that are damaged, you know, where I thought it was pollen, right here you can see it's got like the pistils are a little bit more orange. Try to focus on it. A little bit more orange. And then it also happened, you can like follow it along, you know, it's like there, and then it's also, there's one right there that has a little bit of it. So it's, you know, and that was like, I was like, oh no. And then this one here in the front, and I was like, no, there's pollen, it's moving, it's blowing across my tent, everything's gonna be shit, I'm gonna get seeds everywhere. And you know, I think right now we just figured out it was the fan. You know, it didn't like it being on 7. That was too much air for it. And that nug right in the center is getting the most of it. And any other one that was damaged was literally in the direct path of the fan, right in front of it, and then one of the lower middles, and then it's like, then the big one. So that makes sense. Fan speed's turned down. Hopefully that'll stop that from having any other problems. If it doesn't, I'll try and lift the fan up. I'll turn it down to 1 instead of 3. You know, we'll figure it out. Not a big deal. At first I was really worried, but then I couldn't find any nainers, and I should have just realized it was the fan. But the fan speed adjustment should help. You can also tell since last week that we thinned it out. The one thing that is super, super duper crazy for me, that feels crazy, is how big these nugs got since last week. I mean, just look at that. They're full-on nuggy nugs now. I mean, these are growing, you know, exactly how we want. That's the Cosmopolis. I almost feel like this plant's the furthest along. It's crazy. It nugged up faster than any of the other ones. And I really, really enjoyed it. Of course, this grape lemon cherry in the back probably looks the most healthy. And the biggest plant in here is the Sherb cake. So guys, if you're on Tikicuts, when he puts the cuts back up, because he stopped for the summer, because they don't, you know, you go over 100 degrees and you're gonna have problems when things get delivered. But the Sherb cake is huge. It's a banger. So if you put it in soil and it wants to grow, it's gonna grow big. Like, I mean, I'm talking, you could probably put like this plant should be in my 30-gallon, maybe even in something bigger. I mean, the tray to grow is absolutely killing it. Just look at this. This is how big those plants are. I mean, look at this, and you can see down here where I've cut off full branches, and I did that for a lot of the branches, because you can see up top I have too many already, and really I should have taken more. And if I did, I think I'd be getting bigger nugs. You know, fewer nugs, but bigger ones. And maybe we'll look at doing something like that last time. And I got a clone of this, so we're definitely running it again. And then just look at these roots down here. I mean, the tray to grow is absolutely firing on all cylinders. Just totally crazy. We did the biggest top feed in here again last week because I was so worried that they weren't going to get enough food, because look at how big these plants are. I mean, you look through here, it's an absolute forest. They were way too big. I let them get too big for this pot, this space. Oh man, but I'm excited. I think they're going to be fantastic. And when you come up and you start to see, you know, the buds, and look how happy they are. No yellow tips. We're spitting out 7 and 9 leaves. If you think about where we started with these clones, it's amazing how well they came out. I mean, this Cosmopolis, guys, look at this freaking stem down here. Look at this thing. I mean, that's a knuckle. This is something you'd see in like an outdoor plant. This Cosmopolis just straight killing it. It is crazy, and it's a grower. So if you get in here and you buy some exotic Cosmopolis seeds, it's a grower. It's stretched. When we went into flower, it was only at the trellis. So this is how high it moved all the way up during stretch. I mean, crazy. And then let's flip over here. Got the flexi tank. We turned it on to the veg tent the other day, so it's in more things. This is that grape lemon cherry from Tiki, and the Cosmopolis back here. You can see it's much bigger. You know, it goes all the way back to the edge of the 5x5. It's much bigger than it looks from the front. And then in the back, we still have our 2 little babies. This one actually grew up out of the trellis, which was pretty darn impressive. This is the Watermelon Z-Skittles by Barney's. And then down here we have the Gooey Gummies from Exotic. And this one, I mean, if we had had the time and didn't start it so late, look how healthy this is. That's the health that I want. And this 30 gallons absolutely crushing it for those two plants. But yeah, that is the flower tent. Look at it, it's just crazy in here. This tent is so lit right now. All right, everybody, Brad here, Arizona Grows. Let's take a look at the veg tent. What's growing on? Hey everybody, Brad here, Arizona Grows, and we're in the Mars Hydro 4x4 veg tent. This light has the older FCE 3000. This is the one where you can see you had to attach the bars yourself. On the new light, the 2024 edition, you don't have to do that, which I think makes it even easier. Like, there's no mistakes, you can't put it back, you know, you can't do something stupid, like you just plug it in and it works, which is super nice. This light though has been killing it for me, even though in the veg tent I've been having some problems with my autos, and I know it's not the autos, I know it's just me germinating slow. I've been spoiled by my photo period plants, and I've let my veg, I want to say, you know, when I start plants, let my veg time, my germination stuff, I've just let it slip, because I normally start my photos so early that I can let them get big and I don't have to take special good care of them, and then I can top them, and once I get them in the Autopots, then I start really babying them along and making sure they're perfect. So I just give myself more time, and with autos you don't have that time. You know, you lose 2 or 3 weeks and they're toast, like you're getting something like this guy. And this one was different. This one I didn't actually fuck up. It just was a seed that fell into the soil. It was like a spare, and I didn't think it germinated, and germinated like a week later, and then it was just in a 1 gallon pot for, I don't know, its whole life, and I just threw it in this pot because I had an extra pot around, so I was like, why not let it at least flower in a bigger pot? So that's what's going on over there. Over here the Autopot system is on. I turned it on yesterday, so it's cruising. This here is our Sherb cake clone. Look at this guy. So we got the Sherb cake saved. We don't have the grape, lemon, cherry saved yet, but I definitely took some clones. And if for some reason something doesn't work out, we'll save, you know, we'll re-veg something. We'll clone a branch that has a bud on it and we'll re-veg it. We'll figure it out, because we definitely want to keep that for at least one more run. I mean, we haven't even tried it yet, so you need to keep it so you know if you want to try it again. Let's see. This little auto is cruising along. This is the Naptown from Night Owl. And then I don't know what we have over here. Oh, and this is Space Station Gold. This is another one where I germinated it a little funny. You can tell, I think it's in flower already. It looks like it's in flower already, so obviously that didn't work out. The Snaptown is not, but again, that's all on me. I'm getting used to this new Autopot. I'm doing some stuff, and I just haven't nailed my germination with those, and I don't know exactly why. I just know that it's something that I'm doing, so I'm going to change it up when we do the next run, and try and go from there. Maybe it's got to do with watering. It's either too much or too little. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I'm a horrible hand waterer. That's why, you know, in the 30 gallon it's perfect for me, because I don't have to worry about it. Like, it's super hard to, you know, overwater that. Really, my fear there is that I underwater it. And then if we come over here, these are some herbs we have going on. Basil, that's spinach. This is dill, cilantro, and I think we might have some thyme in there as well. Starting to come up. Maybe these in the middle. I can't exactly remember everything I planted in here, but I definitely know the spinach, the dill, the basil, and the cilantro. And that'll be nice. We're gonna have some good fresh herbs for the end of the summer. make some enchilada sauce, some pico with the cilantro. Just kind of roll through it, man. But I just wanted to show you everything, let you know, I guess, that I'm not hiding anything. I've just been doing so bad with my autos recently, and I know it's not the seeds, because when I nail them, they're the way they're supposed to be, and it's always me, and it's always watering. The first couple of weeks I don't do it right. I've been working on this soil mix in here to make sure it's more like my other ones that always kill it. We'll figure it out, man. I'm gonna figure it out, because we need these autos to shine the way they're supposed to, and we're just gonna roll. But right now they're on, the water's on the bottom, so if they weren't happy or getting enough water before, they got full access to as much as they want now, and that soil's hot enough to take those probably all the way through without a top dress. So we'll just kind of go from there. But that's it for this week. Not a lot going on. Yeah, that's it. The other tents were shining, you know, that tent's killing it. And hopefully, you know, we have some really good product come out of there. I mean, I think we nailed it. The biofish, the power bloom, a little bit of sugar from the coconut and the water. Everything over there is cranking. The banana ferment's going to add also sugar, but it's also going to help break down any of the nutrients in the soil. The worms in that tray to grow are going crazy. The FCE 6500 is just killing it. I love that light. I think we might even get even better results in our next run. This is just the first time we used it. We didn't really use it for much of veg, just like a week of veg and then all the flower. So we're really testing it out for the first time, and it's doing great. Better than expected, I would say. And that's their budget light, not the one with the Samsung diodes. It uses Bridgelux diodes. It's a little bit cheaper, and it just kills it. Like, it kills it so well. I mean, the only way I guess I would know is if the FC version or the Evo version is better, you know, is by trying it. And I'm not going to get to, but this the FCE version, you can see in there it's doing everything we want it to do. There's no supplemental lining, there's no special tricks. You're going to get to see the buds, and I think they're really going to be awesome. All right, everybody, that's it for this week. Brad here, Arizona Grows. I'll see you next week.